So we got on a tram now and we just had a fire interview with some Rasta man called Ansel. He's very conscious. I mean, he spoke to me about his thoughts on the devil, his thoughts on Jesus Christ, his thoughts on Tommy Robinson, his thoughts on Guy Fawkes, his thoughts on Donald Trump, and yeah, this Rasta man's gonna turn your head and make you think a bit different. So I'll play that now. You just enjoy this one. It's fire.
And all the time I'm doing my wrong, I know God's real. Because let me tell you now, all these drugs and all this drink, what you're drinking, all these clothes that you think you're fancy and nice. You get girls 16, 17, they're beautiful, and they already think they're ugly. Already. What happens when they get to 22 and start getting proper wrinkles on blood? They're going to get possessed with the new voting base. Right, yeah, it's done purposely. So send them back. Send them back. Because for me, when you see men walking on stilettos, yeah, it is. That's Baphomet. You understand what I'm saying? The devil. And I tell you what happened. For hundreds of years, these people have been...
Mr. Tommy Robinson.
Oh, yeah, Tommy, man. Tommy, man. I can mention Tommy over there, you know. We love Tommy. Tommy just reminds me of my pad mate. You know?
He ain't no racist, is he?
No, of course he's not. He's just talking truth. But that's what they do to people. They'll bring people of the same colour so that we turn against them. I want people to understand. You need somebody. Yeah, and like I said, if you don't like him, I love him. You hear me? To me, he's the bravest man right now. And I keep telling everybody from day one, Trump, Donald Trump, you hear me? And whatever happened to Governmental Trump, look all the things they've done to him. He never stopped them, he just complained, but he did everything they did. And guess what? You see how they're all tripping over themselves? You see how they're all tripping over themselves? And you see when they tried to kill Trump, and he twists his head in there, well, you better start to learn how God works.
I've seen him playing some good reggae music in the town. We're just having a chat, yeah? And we got onto the subject of Jesus and what's real and what's not real. He's a very conscious, wise man. I've learned a lot from him in the last 10 minutes.
And all the time I'm doing my wrong, I know God's real. Because let me tell you now, all these drugs and all this drink, what you're drinking, all these clothes that you think you're fancy and nice. You get girls 16, 17, they're beautiful, and they already think they're ugly. Already. What happens when they get to 22 and start getting proper wrinkles on blood? They're going to get possessed. It's Baphomet. When you see men walking on stilettos, yeah, it is. That's Baphomet. You understand what I'm saying? The devil. And I tell you what happened. For hundreds of years, all this immigration all over the world at the same time, right? Yeah, it's their ambition to keep us under the blanket while they put them on top and keep who's supposed to get down. Build a new voting base, right? Yeah, it's done purposely. So send them back. Send them back.
So I mean, what was you saying about Jesus? What's your thoughts on Jesus?
My thought of Jesus, right? I mean, the Bible's the Bible, yeah. Right, yeah? But the common sense that I've seen coming from politicians and people that are teachers of the world, right, yeah? It's all false. You know what I mean? I only can relate to Jesus. I'm not saying anything that's not real, but I can relate to Jesus because I can feel Jesus. When Jesus says turn the other cheek, when Jesus says certain things, I can feel that in my time, like Jesus, you know? And if you're a conscious man, then you will see right and wrong. And then you'll feel right and wrong. And if you yourself done wrong, you should go home and say to yourself, was that right thing that I just did? Or was it a wrong thing? Well, if you start to think like that, that means you're conscious. If you're conscious, don't do it again. You have to listen to your conscience. You've got to know how you're thinking. And while you're thinking in life, what comes and helps you, all your wishes, right? All the timing of everything, because the angels are real. But you've got to know and be faithful in it. Sometimes you have to make yourself underdog to find out if it's true. You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah, man.
And sometimes you have to make yourself to underdog to really find out how people really stay. Because in this time here right now, the art is to see what people think you cannot see. Because they're con men, they're tricksters. They'll put things in front of your face, you know? But at the end of the day, they've got us all as consumers. But what I've learned, I was a big Dan in Sheffield. People still say I'm the man, but I don't want to be the man no more. I've got no children to look after, no so far, I'm going to jail for no more. They've grown up now. And all the time I'm doing my wrong, I know God's real. That's why it came to a way that I have to know who I'm stealing from. Just makes me feel better. You know what I mean? You have to know what you're doing wrong to. You know what I mean? Just to make myself feel better.
What's your thoughts on organised religion, man?
Well, I don't know about organised religion. Everybody's got their own thoughts on religion. Because religion's just books and what people say it is. As far as I'm concerned, the Bible's being wrote every day. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, man.
You know, the Bible's never been stopped writing. You know? And then when I see the way the government works and everybody out in high powers of religion, I'm not talking Muslims, the ones that really control the world, yeah? I mean, the way I see the religion, you know, they're turning it upside down, so I can't believe anything they say. Yeah, you have to feel it. You have to know right and wrong. You have to know yourself, feel yourself.
Is this more spirituality?
Yeah, and you have to talk. You have to connect with the spirit. Because this body's electricity. It's in the air. You have to connect with it. You know?
I feel like people are going to learn something from what you just told me.
Yes, you have to learn from it. Because let me tell you now, all these drugs and all this drink, what you're drinking, all these clothes that you think you're fancy and nice. You get girls 16, 17, they're beautiful, and they already think they're ugly. Already. What happens when they get to 22 and start getting proper wrinkles on blood? They're going to get possessed with it all. God already made you beautiful. Yeah? And it's just frills. It's no meaning. I mean, I've got 16 kids. People say, how come you got 16 kids? Blah, blah, blah. I say, yeah, I've got 16 kids. You know why? Because I'm a family man. The women, them were no good. Simple as that. And I know God because I stuck with them all and they're licking me and abusing me. People just said to me, why you stay with them? Do you know what I said? How can I leave them with the devil?
Yeah, man.
You understand what I'm saying?
That, you know.
Well, God bless me. I play music now as a granddad. I ain't got no rocking chair. God's people look after me.
I can relate with what you just said, man.
Yeah, God.
I found a godly woman now, and I know the difference.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
She's
because
shown
like
me
I
the
said,
difference.
I'm here now. Because I play music on the street, people think, oh, I should have a girlfriend and that, blah, blah. I said, no. I conduct myself professional. Yeah, because if any woman I want to make sure all the cleansers and all the things that I did before is clean. So if she does approach me, well, she's going to have to approach me. Because at this day and age, I'm not going out looking no female. Because I believe this. If a woman wants to be with me, I'm going to turn around and she's going to be at my side without me saying anything. You know? Everything has to be real for me. Because I want to live a real life, not no false life. And I've grown to know that cars and all that don't mean nothing. It just mean that you put yourself on the plantation. Because you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that. Don't want to lose in that. You know, the more you have,
the more you can lose.
The more you can lose, and they don't worth nothing. Because at the end of the day, you're going to find out as you get older, you go through the tunnel to have some fitness and some health left to put yourself in the grave neatly. Because a lot of people are going to the grave too early, mashing up with drugs and not looking after physical stuff. They're falling for the trap of the devil, which is the government, yeah? And so on and so on. And that's what's happening. They don't like me.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yes, sir.
You see, I'm seeing men being demasculated. They're not proper men anymore.
Yeah, because it's the devil setting his stage.
Give me some advice.
Give
some advice for men how to regain their masculinity, man, and their pride.
Yeah, it's masculinity, see, because you see, a lot of people masculinity right here. It's what they've done. They're just normalising paedophilia and the devil. It's a devil. It's Baphomet. When you see men walking on stilettos, yeah, it is. That's Baphomet. You understand what I'm saying? The devil. And I'll tell you what happened. For hundreds of years, these people have been trying to come out in the open. Paedophilia, nonsense, you know, blah, blah. Remember, these people used to have to hide and run and pretend they don't exist.
Yeah, in Scotland,
but now,
in Scotland, they tried to make it a law, didn't they?
Yeah, everywhere.
Minor attraction or
yeah,
something.
Everywhere, even kill babies after birth. Because don't forget, rituals, they like them fresh. Everything I'm telling you, it's the devil's stage that they're setting for themselves. Yeah? Right, we know these people do some nasty things to people. It's only because we haven't actually seen it with our own eyes. That's why these people get a blight from us. But they really do these things. Yeah, everything that they do is a use and abuse. The devil don't give you nothing. He doesn't give you nothing. And what he gives you, you use it to kill yourself and distract yourself.
So who's going to save us? Who's going to save these
men? Who's going to save us, yeah? You want me to say who's going to save us?
Come on.
The word of truth. When the word gets round to the people, yeah? and we have somebody strong enough to take the recognition of what Jesus Christ would take. Because we saw what he did to Jesus, that's why I know the wicked. We need somebody, yeah? And like I said, if you don't like him, I love him. You hear me? To me, he's the bravest man right now. And I keep telling everybody from day one, Trump, Donald Trump, you hear me? And whatever happened to Government Trump, look all the things they've done to him. He never stopped him, he just complained, but he did everything they did. And guess what? You see how they're all tripping over themselves? You see how they're all tripping over themselves?
Yeah.
And you see when he tried to kill Trump, and he twists his head in there, well, you better start to learn how God works. And you better start to know your angels, because it's real. Got to have faith.
I'm going to talk about something a bit more controversial, man, and bring it closer to home. Now, there's a lot of abuse in the UK of young people. One man spoke about it 15 years ago, and he's rotting in a jail cell.
Let me tell you something, Guy Fawkes spoke about it hundreds of years ago. Guy Fawkes thought about it hundreds of years ago. Guy Fawkes, yeah, was a brave man. His soul was of Jesus Christ. And the light souls like that to sacrifice. That's why they keep Bob Marley going. That's why they keep Jesus going. That's why they keep Elvis going, yeah? Because they sacrifice these people for their souls, yeah? And that's how it happens. And that's why Guy Fawkes and Auntie still burning him up.
So you know what man I was talking about, yeah? He's in a prison cell now, and he spoke about all the abuse victims. Mr. Tommy Robbins.
Oh, yeah, Tommy, man. Tommy, man. I was going to mention Tommy over there, you know. We love Tommy. Tommy just reminds me of my pad mate, you know? Yeah.
He ain't no racist, is he?
No, of course he's not. He's just talking truth. But that's what they do to people. They'll bring people of the same colour so that we turn against them. I want people to understand all this immigration all over the world at the same time, right? Yeah? It's their ambition to keep us under the blanket while they put them on top and keep who's supposed to get down. Build a new voting base. Right, yeah, it's done purposely. So send them back. Send them back. Because they're here to defend these wicked people's agenda.
Yeah, baby.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Send them back.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm not wicked, man, but send them back. They can't come here and fool me. Yeah, man. A man that, because I had a BMW, they set me up for enough moral earnings, A, B, C, D, and G, prostitution's unknown. 15 months ago. Yeah, man. So don't tell me nothing about these wicked people here. Because you see, man, I want my heart clean. I know these things. Yeah? And when I talk about it because I don't want them people out there to think they've got me like I'm a freaking idiot. In this, I do. I'd rather have nothing and stay with God and Jesus Christ, because that's what he told us of, and live off the earth. Yeah, man? All these false pharmaceuticals they're giving us to eat and blood, but they make money off. When I was a young kid, there was a corner shop and groceries and cinema on every street corner. Yeah, man? Football, this and that, so young kids can grow up and have something to do, playing other teams and other schools. Parents can come and watch them as they grow up and stuff.
Them kids did sport, yeah. We did sport and we learned how to win and we learned how to lose.
That's like kids don't know enough. The kids just know, trying to get into wear dresses. You know what I mean? Because the paedophilias. When Obama and Michael Robinson, because that's his name, Michelle. You understand?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? Michael Robinson. When they fooled everybody about the kids and that, and everybody was going for it, they thought, flipping hell, the world's idiots now. Let's push the agenda now. The only thing Obama did for black people was legalize toilets for gays. Yeah. And he flew the rainbow flag outside the White House because they thought that they're others now. That's why you see everything coming out in the open. Men on stage, this man walking about with bra on, if you call him madam by sir by mistake, he wants to knock your head off. You know what I mean? You know, and things like that. You hear me? Can you see how it was coming out? Schools everywhere. Can you believe that we had to go to government to vote on if a woman's a woman, a man's a man? Jesus Christ.
I think it took them 10 years and millions of pounds to come up with that choice.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so don't make the site to take it for an idiot. They've mashed up everything. And everything that people think is nice right now, they're just frills. Because I bet you, everything that you think's nice might last for half an hour or maybe a night out. But next day, who feels it? Your body. And guess what? That feels done now, isn't it? And then you get your money again, to get another fill. It's just like drugs. You spend your money for fills that don't mean nothing. You need to get yourself involved with substance, a woman, everlasting we can dream, make plans, do things with, create with. Something that means something to you. Wake up in the morning, you know, we do this one night stands. It's like having a crack, and everything, having a drink, having a good time. And good times are just thrills, killing yourself. Kill your fills. And then you go home and you wake up in the morning. You're not certain you had a good time. But see, when I go to sleep at night, mate, I don't go nowhere. I know I'm waking up healthy. Yeah? And guess what? I wake up thinking, he ain't got me!
Listen, I'm going to make a movement.
He ain't got me.
It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you, Ansel, man.
Yeah, man.
And we'll meet again.
I talk to these same way, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to get I don't want to get these people on camera. No.
Come on,
Yeah.
A few years gone now.
Yeah. Listen, it's been a pleasure, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, yeah?
Yeah, we do look like somewhere anyway there. Yeah, Doncaster. I could have said Scouse.